Hi, my name is Andrzej Horoszczak and I'm CEO and CTO of Billon. Billon is a technology company set up over 5 years ago with a singular goal of civilizing blockchain. We achieved our dream last year when in UK we went live minting British pounds on a blockchain-based system and being able to receive FCA license to do so. But what exactly is civilized blockchain to us? Well, it's three things. First of all, and this is probably the most difficult for many people out there, you really have to give up the cryptocurrencies. They're very interesting, but ultimately very esoteric invention. And in everyday life, when a person goes and buys bread or a corporate wants to solve some problem that they face, they really don't want that. They really want to use real governmental currencies like British pound, euro, US dollar or Polish zloty. Secondly, it's about trust. If you ask people to trust you with their money, you have to give something in return. You have to be audited, you have to be regulated, you have to be transparent. You have to live up to the scrutiny that people expect from financial institutions. And we did so. We received license in UK and now we receive license in Poland. We're going to be operating as a regulated company throughout Europe and then in other regions. Third, is blockchain ready to be serious, or is it still a toy that is most fitted as a playground for programmers to create very interesting but theoretical things? We think so. We think that blockchain can solve real-world problems, and we are rolling one product after the other product, starting from big corporates in FMCG to insurance companies and now to banking and regulatory world. What system do we need? There is this big debate between the public blockchains and for most people it means a Wild West. Anything and everything is allowed and it can be used for any purpose anywhere. Then there is this concept of a private blockchain, which essentially means closing this wonderful blockchain technology behind the confines of one or two server rooms. But that kind of defeats the purpose of a distributed system. So we think there is a third way, we call it a permissioned blockchain, essentially a middle ground between the two, where the system is open, anybody can download and operate a blockchain node, and it's open for the internet. But there are certain privileged actors. In our case, these are banks or financial institutions which perform three roles. One, they can cut off people from the system. So they give you permission to operate in the system, and if you really behave badly, they can cut you off. Second, they perform required governmental functions like KYC, know your customer, so they can vouch who you are to the rest of the system. And finally, they are the conduits between the governmental monetary systems and the blockchain money systems. They convert euros onto blockchain euros. And that's it. The rest is up to you. You can use the blockchain systems any way you like. You can develop your own applications. You can deploy it in your own companies or in your own private life. And we encourage you to do so. The big question is why blockchain technology is best suited to solve the problems of old legacy IT systems. Well, one big issue that first generation of blockchain systems, Bitcoin and its many copies, have solved is number of intermediaries. In the old payment legacy systems, financial systems, you had on average between 6 and 7 intermediaries participating in every single transactions. This numerous middlemen make the system fragile, expensive and difficult to set up. Bitcoin has solved this because the miner essentially performs two functions. One, it creates money supply, it creates new bitcoins, but the second function that the miner performs is validation of transactions. So I can go and submit my transaction to the miner and he validates it and secures it in a new block for future reference. So essentially we're coming down from 5, 7 intermediaries to just one. But you can actually do Better than that, if you move away from proof of work systems to cooperative proof of stake systems, you can essentially come down to zero intermediaries. How can it be achieved? Well, it's simple. Just set up the system that I am validating other people's transactions and you are validating my transaction and other people's transactions, so we cooperate in validating everybody's transactions. So essentially this is a zero intermediary systems, a big thing. A second thing that blockchain does really well is, albeit it was slow at doing so, is ending of data isolation. And Ethereum, a second generation blockchain system, has done a wonderful invention called smart contracts. For the first time ever, you were able to process in one system both the business rules and the money rules, and they could interact and play together on one system. But Ethereum has a huge problem. It needs to store all of the business data off-chain. The data is actually stored in a traditional SQL database. It's like a hybrid car. You have this nice, great electric engine, but it's still, majority of the propulsion comes from this dirty old diesel engine. But Billon is like fully electric car. We were able to store all of the information, mountains of it, directly on chain. So you don't need any secondary systems. This one blockchain cloud system can handle all of your business data, all of your money data, and they can be processed in unison for the first time ever. That's going to transform many businesses around the world. This is what's going to make it easier to deploy, safer to use, and just superior to whatever was before. People talk about blockchain a lot, you can read a lot about blockchain, but when will blockchain actually enter our everyday life? Actually, blockchain is very well suited for everyday use because it addresses and solves the trust issue. But up till now, most of the people have been concentrating on for instance, banking use cases like Ripple, which is trying to establish trust between banks to replace SWIFT. But it's not that difficult. There is a limited number of banks. The other people are trying to do B2B corporate use cases. But again, it's not so difficult as far as the trust perspective. The most interesting use case is actually C2C or B2C cases where you have mass adoption or mass base of users where trust is essential. But in order to be able to do so, you have to solve the inherent performance problem that first generation or second generation blockchains had. They are simply unable to cope with millions of transactions. And we at Billon have done that. Our system, which is live and deployed in United Kingdom and in Poland, has been tested, stress tested, to process way over 160 million transactions per day. That's a volume sufficient for European Union retail transactions. So now you can move to C2C or B2C use cases where all the benefits lie. So where do we see Billon in next 12 months? We have in the past concentrated very hard on proving our technology, on signing up signature clients, and we have one of the biggest corporate customers in the world that have explored and perfected our blockchain technologies. We have proven our value in the FMCG industry. We have shown transformative use cases for the motivation in the insurance industry or other applications. And we have now finished extensive trials where you can securely store the legal dealings, the bank statements, contracts, terms and conditions on a blockchain system which essentially democratizes the access to information for financial industry clients. Now Billon is at the stage where we need to quickly scale, where we need to move from those successful proof of concepts into mass-scale applications in many countries around the world. And this is the first step in doing so. If you're interested in blockchain and if you're interested in what civilized blockchain can achieve, follow us up on our social media. And if you know somebody bright, talented and motivated that wants to join and work with us, tell them about us. We are growing like crazy. We need engineers, we need marketing people, we need business people to actually put the civilized blockchain into hands of millions of people. Come and watch us, come and join us.